Hello guys, welcome to M&E Made Simple. I'm your host, Coach Alexander. I'm so glad that you've joined me today. We're going to be continuing on our series, How to Develop a Monitoring and Evaluation Plan. So if you haven't been watching the videos are in the link below. Okay, I've put a link that gives you all the past 3 videos that I've done. This is the 4th video in the series. So today we're going to be looking at what is the difference between an M&E plan and M&E framework. Okay, but for those of you who haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so because I'll be posting updates on a regular basis. And if you don't know who I am, I'm simply Coach Alexander, and I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I've enjoyed every little bit of this M&E. Now, there's something I need to talk about, and this is one of the best things that has ever happened in M&E Made Simple. It's the coaching program, the 6-month coaching program. In June, we've already started enrolling, okay? People have been writing to us, people are enrolling, so we want to encourage you also to enroll because this is a very good program. You get one-on-one coaching via Skype. We give you materials, you do a test, you do exams, and at the end, you also get a certificate. So I'm so happy that people have been responding very well, and I really want you to enroll in this. So please write to me if you can. Of course, we have these freebies, the free ebooks. The link is in the description. How to set up a monitoring and evaluation system step by step. This is a course running on Udemy. It's a very good course. Please enroll in this course. And as usual, this video is quite long, okay, because I like to be thorough. But in case you don't want to listen to everything, use the timestamps in the description below, okay? So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into business. Okay, so I like to explain what an M&E plan is by also differentiating it from an M&E framework. And the reason is that people tend to confuse the two. And I know this and I've seen this many times because if you look at a plan, it details certain aspects that are also similar to the framework, but they are different because by definition, if you remember the videos that I did, I explained what planning is. Okay, so now the plan, let me just go through this again. The M&E plan explains what is to be measured, how are we going to measure them, who is going to measure them, and what resources are we going to be using. Sorry about that. So now, the thing here is, in terms of what is measured, it lists all the indicators. And the indicators are further amplified by means of what we call indicator reference sheets. For those of you who don't know what indicator reference sheets, these are simply documents that explain in detail what each indicator is on the logical framework. So they go into the details by defining them, explaining how they are calculated, and so on and so forth. Now, the key about the plan, the key difference between a plan, M&E plan and M&E framework is that it gives you details about the time, manpower, and money required. Okay, this is very important. I've explained about this oftentimes to many of my listeners. I've had people write to me and question me, why do we need to include the budget in the M&E plan when it's already appearing in the project budget? I have to tell you guys, the truth of the matter is that if you don't do what I'm saying, it can create serious problems. I've seen this many times. The the funny thing about the project budget is that it doesn't really disaggregate what is for M&E and what is for project activities. It's like it harmonizes everything. So this can bring a bit of confusion in implementation because you discover that the people that are supposed to be doing M&D activities should be M&D personnel. But because the budget is not clear on those things, the project staff, the other project staff will think that it is something they need to be doing. And that can create a bit of confusion. Okay. But that is just among one of the reasons. But there are many other reasons why you need to separate the two. So the M&E framework is simply a matrix. All right. Oh, by the way, before I go any further, for the M&E plan, in my previous video, I had explained what template you can use for writing the plan. Okay, so now let's go to the framework. The framework is simply a matrix. And for those of you who've not seen this before, this is just one example, okay, of how a framework looks like. So you've got the indicators, you've got the definitions, baseline, target, data source, frequency, and so on and so forth. These are the sections that really make you know that this is a framework. And please also don't confuse this with a log frame because they are also different, though similar. You know, one thing you have to realize is that things are pretty much similar in the in M&E, you know, when you look at these various templates. But you have to be able to separate the two because they mean different things. So I've given an example. This was an example that I gave in one of my previous videos. You have a project that is designed on poverty reduction. Okay. So as you can see, the indicators have been populated. This column has been populated. Then you have the definitions, baseline targets, data source, frequency, responsible personnel, and reporting. So this is pretty much what it is. I can tell you that I have seen a framework that is really bulky. It doesn't have a matrix. It doesn't only have a matrix, but it has a lot of narratives. That is also fine. But the only difference that you need to realize is that when it comes to an M&E plan, it's really going to tell you how you should be scheduling these activities and what monetary value you should attach to them. I want you to take note of this, dear friends, that the M&E plan is a document, and because of that, it will contain the framework inside. Okay, so that is also another way to differentiate the two. The framework is a sub-component of the plan. Of course, you can have, I've seen situations where the framework is actually in the project document. That's fine. But if you have a plan, if your organization develops a plan, it should have a framework inside because what your plan is explaining is also linked to the framework. So I want to thank you so much for giving me this time. Please don't forget to enroll in the one-on-one coaching program this month. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Coach Alexander. See you on the other side.